Hi, I'm Jeff Fox. I just went 9-0 at a Rage of the Abyss case tournament playing Snake Eye, Azamina, Fiendsmith. The deck honestly felt insane all day. I actually only dropped 3 games, and I'm really excited to share this kind of first pass list that worked really well. So a lot of the Snake Eye stuff remains pretty much the same. 1 Flame Burge, 1 Snake Diabell, 3 Witch, 3 Wanted, Original, Temple, nothing changed there. The addition is really this small Azamina package with 3 Deception of the Sinful Spoils and 1 Hollowed Azamina. I think everybody kind of knows just what this adds to the deck. Makes a really big difference in terms of the gas that the deck has, as well as obviously setting up an Omni Negate. Searching Wanted is crazy too. Fixes all the consistency issues that arose after they limited Ash and Poplar, really. And then of course the little guys, 1 Poplar, 1 Ash, 2 Oak, and 3 Bonfire. Mostly standard. I don't think that's going to change through this format, like, at all. It's 21 Snake Eye cards, including the Azamina package now. And then the Fiendsmith package, I also think will become relatively standard. 2 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, 1 Larry, 1 Tract. So sort of like the Azamina stuff, I think we expected this to add a lot to the deck, and it absolutely does. Lacrima cycling through an extra Light Fiend makes a big difference in terms of like general extension, but more so the fact that you can link this off and just access Desiree via Engraver later on in the turn. So you don't have to use what you summon off of Requiem to go into sequence right away to make Desiree. You can actually just wait on it and wait until like a point where you get nibbed. So adds so much gas to the deck, and it makes like tracked Desiree no matter what. So really good. I think it'll become standard. It's 26 total engine with 17 non-engine, starting with Callby. This card went crazy, like hitting Fulos, hitting any hand trap. Really, I got Herald of the Orange lighted against Melodious, and this just like soloed it because he had another one in hand too. It was super crazy. Really good going second, even game 1 into like the Omni Negate, Azamina, Phantom of Yubel, you name it. It's really good. And then 15 hand traps in this build. So 3 Fulos, another card which I think everybody expected to have a huge impact. The card is crazy. I think you absolutely have to main deck 3. And I think because it exists, you also, like, beside its utility, also just have to main 3 Ash to stop Fulos, because it could be the difference between like a nothing board and full combo. And then the sort of questionable inclusions were 3 Nib, 3 Veiler, but then obviously we do play the 3 Imperm as well. So Nib and Veiler were kind of iffy, and still kind of are, frankly. Like, it worked out really well for me because I didn't play into a lot of boards that were setting up like Omni Negates or insulating themselves from it. But honestly, like, the logic was we felt Veiler was going to be pretty good, and once you include Veiler in a deck that already is playing Imperm, it makes Nib a little better. And plus the inclusion of Fulos makes it more likely that you're going to see Nib and Veiler or Nib and Imperm in combination on turns that they actually decide to play. And if they don't play and you see those cards, like, it's fine because you can just full combo into it. So I was mostly happy with it. It's worth saying though that like pretty much every game 2 and game 3 I was siding out the Veilers, even going second, because there were just like better cards in a matchup dependent manner to side in. And then the 1 Azarun is the last card. We're playing Bunny. It's really good. Extra deck is Anima, Nightmare Phoenix, both Hida and Dark. Dark was actually like really high utility. There's a lot of utility in this extra deck right now, and a really worthy inclusion, frankly. IP, SP, Bunny, Princess standard. Still playing Saryuja, so even though like your bodies aren't as free as when you might have played like a cash package with Dracossack, this card is still super accessible. It's another thing that Lacrima enables because you can just link off the Lacrima for a Saryuja play. And there are a lot of really crazy plays, like even one card combos where you can insulate your Saryuja draws with the Azamina Omni Negate, which just makes it crazy. And I'm still like of the view that if you resolve that draw 4, put back 3, the game is over. Then Requiem, Moon, Sequence, Desiree. I think that's pretty self-explanatory at this point. And then the two good Azamina fusions with the Omni Negate and the Searcher. That's all you need. Does more than enough for the deck. Side deck is 3 more Molcharmies. We did play Perulia. It's just so good. Like going second, it's pretty much guaranteed value. If you see it in combination with Fuelos, it's just insane. It's still good, even after Fuelos comes into the picture, especially against certain matchups where it just like gets a ton of value, like Yubel. And then 3 Retaliating Sea. So this is kind of catching on, I think, for people. And obviously the logic is to side it in going second against Snake Eye Azamina, use it against the Hollowed Azamina, and it can, in theory, be like a turn skip almost. But actually this card has been coming up in like a lot of really rogue situations and like coming up huge in that. Like I used it against the Melodious dude and that came up huge value. The day before the tournament, I had used it against Runic when they went to summon Hugin, and that just like is a turn skip for like a Whitewoods Runic deck or in whatever Runic deck. So this card was really, really good. Didn't get a lot of value against the deck it was intended for, but it applied really versatile. And then we played a Meaningful Thrust package of 3 Thrust, 1 Talents, 1 Duster, 1 DDG, and 1 D-Barrier. So obviously DDG and D-Barrier are like a matchup dependent going first set off of Thrust. DDG didn't come up for me at all. Like I sided it in a few times. I didn't play going first a lot games 2 and 3 because like so many of my matches were 2-0s fortunately. But even when it did, like it didn't come up at all. In theory it could be good like in the mirror match or whatever. Thrust into D-Barrier also didn't really come up. Again, I didn't play against a lot of the decks that it would be good against and didn't go first games 2 and 3 a lot. But obviously the Talents and Duster for going second were like super valuable and totally worthy inclusions in the side deck. I even hard drew the Talents a couple times and it was just like amazing when I saw it going second. And then finally 2 Floodgates, Anti-Spell, and Tikaboo. I didn't see these cards at all. Obviously they're really, really good if you do see them against the matchups that they punish against, but I literally just didn't draw them, so it didn't matter. So that's the deck. Felt incredible. Like, I think it's probably the best deck of the format. Fire King seems really good because you can play Impulse without Fiendsmith cards, and that's pretty attractive, but like I'm super cozy with this deck right now. It feels really good. I'm excited to play it until the next list, frankly. And yeah, big shout out to Gamers Alley in Gastonia, North Carolina. The store is awesome. They hosted this case tournament. Really beautiful place. Highly recommend checking it out if you're ever in the Charlotte area. I think we didn't make any friends at the venue because everybody wanted to split in top 8 and we said no, and then we got into top 4 and they wanted to split and I was like no, and finally at the finals the dude fortunately was like, well, we might as well just play now that we're here. But I think everybody was a little angry and that was kind of funny, but my logic was I'm undefeated with the deck, beat me and make me regret it, and they couldn't. So yeah, big shout outs to that store, check it out. Big shout outs to all my NC people, my testing partners, Mitch and Justin. Big shout out to my PA people, Jermaine, Big Hater, Javius, everybody else back home. And of course, a big shout out to JNC Collectibles.